police oversight. And nationally, the question of how prepared we are for shortages, whether food, electricity, or trust in leadership, cannot be ignored. Stay with us here on ABC in the morning as we unpack what's happening and what it means for you this morning on ABC in the morning. Let me bring you our quote for the day. Today's quote is by Carl Sagan, who is an American scientist. Says science is more than a body of knowledge. It is a way of thinking. I perfectly agree. Science is not an abstract. It does not just exist. It's not a body of knowledge that we just go and access and that is all. It is a way of thinking. Let us incorporate science in everything we do. Actually, science is in every single thing we do, whether you're eating food, whether you're drinking water, you're crossing the road, whatever you're doing, science plays a very typical role in there. You're muddying the waters with galamsey. That's a science. We're telling you that you're putting in too much mercury and cyanide into our waters. These are heavy metals that have very drastic effects, adverse effects on the body. That is science. You're eating a meal, you put protein together with some carbohydrates, together with some fruits and vegetables, you're drinking some water, you're doing this and that. It is all science. How are we processing our thoughts? It's a science. Everything we do is science. And so let's not live as if science is an abstract. It stands on its own or it does not have bearing on our lives. It actually does. When we think that way, we'll look at things more critically. We'll look at things in a way that breaks things up better or breaks things down better, and then we can appreciate the life we live the better and also even do better as we move about each and every day. And so science is more than a body of knowledge. It is a way of thinking, and that is our quote for the day. We have so much for you today on ABC in the morning. We'll bring you the newspaper headlines. We'll bring you conversations. Today I have guests with me in the studio. Manasseh Ataboahene, a member of the NPP communications team, and Kingsley Basentale, a member of the NDC communications team, will join me in the studio as we unpack all that we have for you today on the show. I also open the phone lines where you can call me and share your thoughts, 0539161609, and then we'll bring you the latest in the world of sports. But I remind you that the BEC is still ongoing across the nation, and so speak some life into the candidates who are writing their BEC, make their lives better as they write their BECE. We are streaming live Facebook and YouTube, ABC News GH, and you can interact with us via socials at ABC News GH _ and our website www.abcnewsgh.com. After the break, I'll bring you the newspaper headlines and daily job. Do stay.
Things never change when it comes to feeding your family. You choose what you trust. For generations, Gino has delivered the same dependable quality every time. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye, easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning live here on ABC ABC The Morning Live here on ABC News GH. Now let's bring you the newspaper headlines. Well, on the front page of the Daily Graphic, Mahama Cares begins next month, focuses on cancer treatment, and this is the administrator of the Mahama Cares, Obobia. You see her on the front page of the Daily Graphic with the Health Minister and the Vice President. Well, Junior Graphic launches 2026 essay contest. Please enroll your kids. Let them get part of this. Inherited legal system not fit for purpose, and Sasari says so. And specialist supplement on Otumfuo's 76th birthday. Okay, these are the stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Let's take a look at more stories. On the Daily Gist, ex-finance minister drags BOG to IMF over gargantuan 44 billion Ghana cedi losses. Adam on BOG. Mahama orders CJ to fast-track oral cases. And Semioku commissions constituency office. All right. Confusion rocks NPP internal elections in Takwa and Sowu Tuom. These are the stories on the front page of the Daily Gist. On the inside, CPP warns South Africa over rising xenophobic attacks, demands protection for African nationals. Also, Mahama, healthcare investment key to Africa's growth. And this is Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff, saying so. Contempt for animal life is a threat to human life. Burma Sapon Esquire writes on that. BOG losses top 80 billion Ghana cedi, and the NPP administration, the majority caucus says so, and the Vice President commends Ghana Medical Trust and calls for broader public awareness. On the news center, MMFL MTN Ghana champion fintech at 3i Africa Summit 2026. 1 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 471 million Ghana cedis in 2025. That's a CD printing cost, the fall from 1 billion to 471 million Ghana cedis. Catholic Bishop Slam Festival nudity and demand probe. Print Park GJ hail Ghana's rise to 39th on Press Freedom Index. The News Center reports these stories on its front page. On the publisher, the new publisher, Kente and fire at ECOWAS Parliament. Abena Mante slams xenophobia and mourns killing of tomato traders. And MP reports BOG to IMF, fires petition over massive losses. And there's a story about a 6-year-old. Oh, this is bothersome. Dad ties 6-year-old stepson to moving quad bike, and oh no. This is very worrying, very, very worrying. Condolences to the family affected, and I hope that the police bring some justice to this matter. Let's take a look at other stories. On the Daily Guide, Mahama petitioned over judge misconduct. Edubuahene's lawyers examined documents at Attorney General's office. And still on the buffer stock trial, AG drops charges against Hanan and wife. Man kills Paul over 20 Ghana cedis. Why? Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, Abena Mante attends ECOWAS Parliament. On the front page of the Custodian, Boache Jakon rallies NPP grassroots for victory 2028. Bank of Ghana made losses to ensure economic stability. The NDC majority says so. Adam petitions IMF on Bank of Ghana and flags hidden fiscal risk, rising cost and debt burden. These are the stories on the front page of the Custodian. On the Chronicle, police choppers now flying coffins. COP Bright Ojo retired calls for probe into acquisitions. And the Bank of Ghana losses saved businesses from collapse. the majority says. And Goldfields makes compelling case for Takwa Mine lease extension. These are the stories on the Chronicle. Grab any of these papers and you can read more on the stories that have made the front page. Away from the newspapers, let's bring you what is making the headlines, the trends on social media with Daily Drop.
The Minister of Roads and Highways, he has gone off on contractors. Charlie, he says why? Are they not on social media? That they will allow people on social media like TikTok, X, to disrespect the president because of job that he has given them. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwame Agboza, has issued a final warning to contractors who are delaying road projects under the government's Big Push program. During a tour of the Bono, Savannah and Upper West region, the minister said many contractors were working too slowly and failing to meet deadlines. He warned that any contractor who does not improve performance could have their contract cancelled and face legal actions. One company, Maripoma Constructions, was heavily criticized after the minister accused them of only showing up to work when they heard he was visiting. He warned them to complete at least 20% of the work within 2 months or risk losing the contract. The minister also expressed concerns about delays on the Wenchi-Bole-Wa highways, saying the government may reassign the project to more serious contractors if progress does not improve. He stressed that no contractor is above the law and blamed delays on the long-standing habit of contractors not being punished for late work. He made it clear that under the Big Push program, projects must be completed on time. The Savannah Regional Minister supported the warning, adding that authorities have already prevented protests from frustrated youth over stalled projects and will now take stricter actions against non-performing contractors. So basically, they've paid people to do the contract and then they are not doing it or they are not meeting deadlines. These are the same people that will say that, and we have contractors in Ghana who can do their job, then they'll go and give it to the Chinese people, then they'll go and give it to this, then they will give it to the Ghanaians and they will still not do their job. And even if they do, they will do some shabby work. These are the people that we keep fighting for, contracts them, use them to do their job. No, the minister has come out. Either you do the job and meet your deadlines, or you lose it and face legal actions if you don't even pay back the money they've paid you people. You say stepmothers are wicked. Have you met a wicked stepfather? Then you know that Cinderella's mother, she was doing nothing. A middle-aged man living with disability has been arrested by residents in North Legon after allegedly tying his 6-year-old stepson to a quad bike, dragging him on the ground. The incident, which shocked the community, reportedly followed repeated complaints that the child had been entering neighbors' houses to swim in their pool and steal metal items to sell as scraps. Now, the boy sustained serious injuries and was rescued by concerned residents who quickly handed the suspect over to the police for further investigations. In a video recorded during initial questioning, the man admitted to the act, claiming frustrations over constant complaints about the child's behavior, leading him to take that extreme action. Police are expected to investigate the case, while the condition of the child has raised concerns about child safety and abuse within communities. So as I said earlier, if you think Cinderella's mother, stepmother was wicked, have you met the stepfather? Me informed.
What a game yesterday between Manchester City and Everton. Yesterday, Manchester City nearly collapsed before Jeremy Doku can save them in a crazy 3-3 draw against Everton yesterday. And Charlie, this one, it go pain well because the title race just got tighter. After Arsenal won against Fulham, City go play draw with Everton. But City still get one more astounding match to play. Yesterday, the game began hot as Everton scored 2 goals within 5 minutes. Then Pepin boys started panic. But yesterday, Jeremy Doku was on his A game. The Ghanaian-born Belgian player yesterday proved that he's a correct winger and one to reckon with as well. Yesterday, the game showed that anything and anyone can happen. Currently, with the draw City has played, now Arsenal are leading the table with 5 points. And City still have a game in hand. But it go worry why, because even if you win your game in hand, I still lead you with 2 points. So is it safe to say that Arsenal no go bottle this one because if they look like they no go agree at all. Saka is back and is on form. Yesterday, City were really struggling against Everton as Everton scored 2 goals within 5 minutes. It took Jeremy Doku to step up yesterday and prove that he's one of the best players or the best wingers we have currently in the world, and he's a force to really work on it. Because yesterday, he and Ryan Cherki were the only active players I saw in the game against Everton. The game came in a 3-3 draw. So currently, City sits second on the table, and Arsenal have opened the gap points to 5 now. Now let's move on to something that is really of sweet juice and entertainment as the UEFA Champions League returns to us this evening. Atletico Madrid are looking to lock horns with Arsenal in England at the Emirates Stadium. Remember that the first leg ended 1-1 in Atletico Madrid's home, and this leg proves who would make it to the final. Do you think Arsenal has what it takes to go to the Champions League final, or Atletico Madrid will ruin the party for them? Remember that Diego Simeone is somebody who is very familiar to this stage, so he knows what to do. Arteta has been in this stage last season and he was knocked out by PSG. Let's see if this season he will be able to make it to the final, because Arsenal there, the Makwadopo dreams, them bottle am. Right now, he left to the UCL, then the EPL. With the hope say then go fit take am. But this evening, who do you think would win? Who is your money on? Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal in the Champions League. Let's talk in the comment section. Like, follow and share for more news. Be informed.
Dr. Nesofori Sapon is celebrating his 60th birthday in grand style. It's his birthday and casa. So as part of the birthday, he hosted an exclusive celebration with members of the East Legon Fitness Club. So the gathering is not like they just gathered to chill and have fun. No. Nah. He commissioned a 600-bed dormitory, ultra modern one, and even named it Ofori Sapon House for Presec. That's his alma mater. He's just trying to show gratitude for they raising him to become the kind of man that he is now. If you go on social media right now, people are saying that now they're Presec or money size they are country move. They are on top. Aside that, you know these rich men and their rich doings. He revealed a brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan Manzuri. There's a customized one. Oh, if you're a car enthusiast, you know what I'm talking about. Despite alone gave him Louis XIII Cognac, and that alcohol alone ranges from $4,000 to $120,000. Well, this evening there's an after party. What and what have you seen in this celebration that I've not talked about? So let me know in the comment section. Be informed. So Spence really increased their hostel fees by 90%. Reports emerging on social media is saying that Spence has increased their hostel fees by 90%, to the extent that Rent Commissioner Frederick Opoku has reportedly described the increment as criminal. A criminal saying every year Pent is increasing hostel fee every year. We are even in the middle of the semester and the increment.
Well, that's Daily Drop bringing us all that is happening, especially on social media, so that you too stay updated. Very interesting stories coming there from Daily Drop. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll bring you more on the show, especially conversations that you would love. Please stay with us.
Advert. Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or products? Bring your company's vision to life.
And then make media house we are potential films. So don't worry. So a course you true advert contact woman.
We help businesses build their brands.
Quality camera.
reach their target audience, and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
Perfect. Contact no good script about your product, sound, jet. They will give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So put your young on Makasa. First number way 0541 16 28 28. And repeat 0541 16 28 28. Call them.
Potential firms, we believe in quality.
Welcome back. Still watching ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. The Catholic Bishops' Conference is in the news. They have released a statement slamming some occurrences as a festival that Karnival Kingdom Festival. Let me read the Catholic Bishops' Conference's statement to you. This is a statement by the National Catholic Secretariat, and it's from the Office of the President. Statement from the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference on the Karnival Kingdom Festival. The Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference has taken note of the public nudity at the Karnival Kingdom Festival on from 22nd to 28th April 2026, during which participants received police protection. The event was an eyesore, denigrated our values as a nation, and breached the laws of our land. Of Section 278 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. 1. The demand for investigation. We, pastors of the land, unequivocally condemn the act of public nudity and call for immediate investigation into the role of state institutions and the importation of foreign cultural practices. The presence of police protection for participants raises serious questions about official oversight. The conference condemns the Member of Parliament for Asin South, The conference commends the Member of Parliament for Asin South, Honorable John Ntim Fodro, for his call in this direction. 2. Cultural tension requires discernment. The event reflects a clash between globalized festival culture and Ghana's established legal standards. An imported event cannot claim exemption from Ghanaian law. Cultural exchange must respect the host nation's laws and values. 3. Governance questions are serious. Who approved the permits and the deployment of police to protect participants engaged in public nudity? The conference is deeply concerned that state agencies responsible for protecting public order may have facilitated rather than prevented this misconduct. 4. No political interference in investigation. The conference urges all parties to allow the investigative process to proceed without undue political pressure. 5. Recommendations. The conference recommends a thorough, impartial investigation with public findings, review of permitting processes with clear decency guidelines, an inquiry into why police protection was provided, and a national dialogue on limits of cultural expression in public spaces. Conclusion. Provision of police protection for acts that breach the criminal code represents a serious failure of official duty. Enforcement of law is urgently needed. And it's signed Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi, the Bishop of Sunyani and President's Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. This was issued on Monday, May 4, 2026. This is the Catholic Bishops Conference. They say that the Karnival Kingdom Festival is an affront to our values as a nation, moral values as a nation, as also raises serious concerns about the Criminal Offences Act, that we import some actions into the country and we allow it to desecrate our moral values. The Catholic Bishops Conference is saying that any imported culture should rather coexist with our culture in the country. Any imported culture should not do what the culture of the country will not do. And so they are calling for investigation into the matter and are asking why the police provided escorts, provided protection to those who participated in the Karnival Kingdom controversy. Catholic Bishop Conference says that the nudity there is unpardonable. But I've also read comments on social media that say that we are in a very liberal country at this point. And so Catholic Bishop Conference should pipe down a bit on these moral issues. But really, is that it? Is that what the people are saying? Is this what the Catholic Bishops Conference is saying? Will we see any investigation into this matter? Carnivals happen all across the world. There are some cultures that invest heavily in carnivals as part of their culture. They enjoy themselves. I've seen quite a number of Ghanaians travel outside the country to go and participate in these carnivals. To see them in Ghana, is it a problem? But well, the Catholic Bishops Conference said that the nudity, the blatant display of nudity, one, is against our laws, two, also against our culture, our moral values as a people. And they are unable to understand why the police would provide protection to a program like this. And so they are calling for investigations. We'll see if any investigations will be launched into this matter, and we will be following the story. But this is the latest from the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference on this matter. That is it on this matter. Let's also turn our attention to Weija Agbawe, where there is a problem. A hospital completed. The hospital has everything it needs to function, especially at a time or in a country where we are complaining that we're spending a lot of hours when we go to the hospital. You're not getting the best of services at hospitals because they are overburdened. And then you turn your attention to Weija Agbawe, where a hospital has been completed yet has not been commissioned for the start and for use. Well, residents in Weija Agbawe have protested. They're protesting this unopened hospital. Let me show you some visuals on the screen, see what they have on their placards on why this children's hospital is not in use. Weija Agbawe is quite a huge area, and they could use another hospital. They could use a hospital in the area. Let's listen to the residents of Weija Agbawe on this matter.
But it's not by the say, all your clinic, you're part time for they here clinic. Oh, the masters never saw us. You bet to us what you're part time for your ready. Say you better to money, but what the masters, yes, sir. Put them up by the clinic. Then you're prepared. Now, and you're going to you. Then you're prepared. Because no, or do a one. I can't be a hospital.
The job has been won. Now go down alongside Bob. We are about to Ghana youth and Ghana many now. Yammo Modia, Atupaji, Nine and Kuran and Yabi, service on a Twitchman. That do a mobile. Now say, oh, my penny, you Magana, a soup here, and others a second of yes, and my more niggas say, because the number of was the J1, Yantiasi, Obi Bessie Terminator, but who's here? Yanka say, Mahama, a Japanese, and in Agana for Yabia, and the Yin say, the Biba, yes, to send that again, and we be Mexican and Polanas and Labao.
Well, so the residents of Wijagbawi, 120-bed facility, is a specialist hospital to treat children, so pediatric hospital. They say that this is an affront to the community, that 17 months into President Mahama's government, the hospital has not been opened, and so this hospital must be opened. Well, if the hospital is fit to operate, it's only right. I mean, children get sick, and when they get sick and there is a hospital to take care of these children, there's a pediatric hospital. It's just unfair that it sits unopened and there's nobody working, especially when we have doctors who are still at home, nurses who are at home. We have medical graduates, people who have graduated from their various medical programs, who are at home and could use the job, could help the nation benefit. We could benefit from them and benefit from the hospital too. So this is the problem. This is the problem at Wijagbawi. This is the problem at Wijagbawi at this point. We'll continue to follow and see what is done about the matter, if the hospital will be open. But there is, let's take an attention to food. Food, very important. I mean, you wake up and you don't eat, trouble. You can't provide food for your children, trouble. If there's famine, big trouble. We thank God, we are grateful that we are not in that point. We are not at that point, but there's rice glut in the country. A few weeks ago, there were stories about egg glut up around the Bono area. This time, there is rice glut, and we need some huge amounts of money to deal with it. Some 770 million Ghana cedi to clear the stock. We have an abundance of rice, and we need 770 million Ghana cedi to clear the stock. At this point, there's just about 100 million Ghana cedis available in procurement to help the matter, but that is just a small fraction of the huge amounts needed. Rice glut. We eat a lot of rice in Ghana. We import a lot. If we're able to produce rice and we can clear it and get them in the market, this means that there's a lot. This should be a burden on the Ministry of Agric. Yeah, I think Agric and then Finance, these two ministries, so that we can deal with it. Because this is happening, the Rice Growers Association are demonstrating. I cannot imagine having cultivated your rice, harvested it, and you see it sitting there and it risks going bad when you know that there's a market for rice. Well, they are complaining. They are complaining. We need to also support our local rice growers. We really do need to support them. They're trying their best to introduce their rice in the market. Their rice is good. I've eaten quite a number of local rice varieties or from different brands, and you enjoy it. It's tasty, really, really tasty. You go to the market and you see a lot of the shops bringing in foreign rice, because, well, there's a taste for it. But what are we doing for our local rice farmers? They cannot have worked, tilled the land, grown the rice, harvested, and then this is where they are we can't have that happening. There's an abundance. We cannot sit aloof and let this go waste. It is a very normal thing in Ghana here, which should be stopped actually, where when we have an abundance, we only see it go waste. Go to the market, see an abundance of tomatoes when tomato is in season, and people are just trampling on tomatoes. We are spoiling it. A period will come when tomato is out of season and we cannot even buy a container of tomato. Last time I went to the market, just a small bowl of tomatoes was going for 50 Ghana cedis. This time it's rice. What are we doing about it? For the eggs, I know when I'm walking in the market or walking in town, the Kosiani Meko sellers are now selling Kosiani Meko 2 for 5 Ghana cedis. They literally have public address systems set up, and they're doing Kosiani Meko 5 cedis, Menu 5 cedi, Menu 5 cedi. They're selling it. They are doing the donkomi as we know it. Now it's rice. What are we doing about it? We eat a lot of rice. It's morning. It's some minutes past 8 o'clock, and just walk through at every station, at every bus stop. At least you find a wache seller, a jollof seller, a plain rice seller. These 3 rice dishes are on sale at this point. Fried rice in the evening, fried rice, the check, the jollof checks, the mutuo that people sell with granite soup. We eat a lot of rice as a people, and we turn rice into so many things. And so we should be able to deal with this. 770 million Ghana cedi. I believe that we are in the position to ensure that our farmers do not suffer, that our farmers do not run at a loss. Please, what are we doing about this rice glut? The farmers are demonstrating. We shouldn't let our farmers go through this matter at all. We shouldn't let our farmers go through this situation. It is unfair to them after they have broken their back to produce food for us to eat. And so we need to turn our attention to this matter and turn our attention to it real quick. So this is the right situation in the country. This is the right situation we are faced with in the country at the moment. Well, there's some updates from the Ken Ofori-Atta camp. Let me bring you up to speed on it. Ken Ofori-Atta's lawyer, Justice Minka Premo, appears before Iyoko at 9 a.m. today. Today is May 6, 2026. Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister who's been away from the country, he's in the United States of America. You know, he's been in the news. AG, OSP, Iyoko, all over Ken Ofori-Atta. Well, we understand today his lawyer will be at Iyoko at 9 a.m. That is in some 45 minutes. That will be in some 45 minutes. And this is a statement. I think I should read it for you. This statement is by G.A. Adbesinyale, who is a political activist, a human rights advocate, citizenship rights promoter, and a social justice warrior. He, speaking on the matter, says, as we try to grasp the full import of the arrest and detention last week of lawyer Justice Minka Premo by the BNI, word has emerged that he is being ordered to appear at Iyoko at 9 a.m. today, May 6, with his PDS clients. So that's Ken Ofori-Atta's lawyer. He's also representing some PDS clients. You'd recall that a few days ago, the Minister for Government Communication, Felix Kwatiofosu, reported that some 4 persons are in custody, or some 4 persons have been invited by the BNI or Iyoko concerning PDS scandal that occurred. And so Justice Minka Premo, who represents them, will be there. And so as we try to grasp the import of the arrest and detention last week of lawyer Justice Minka Premo by the BNI, word has emerged that he is being ordered to appear at Yoko at 9 a.m. today, May 6, with his PDS clients. The Mahama government's investigative agency Ping Pong appears to be at full throttle. Will Minka Premo appear next at the police CID or at the National Security Secretariat, or maybe the office of the Special Prosecutor? We are now with a well-known senior lawyer at the Ghana Bar being arrested and detained with his clients and then granted bail. Was he arrested on the complaints of ECG itself or a self-activating power of the security apparatus in an ECG PDS transaction they are suspicious of? Where are the ECG officers and lawyers involved in the PDS transactions? Why are they not persons of interest to IOCO or BNI? And BNI, the current ECG MD, for example, was involved from the transaction negotiation stage through the mediation stage, and then the lawyers for the ECG at the arbitration stage included Dominic Ayine, now Attorney General. Having been seated at the ECG side of the PDS transaction, aren't the Attorney General Dominic Ayine and the ECG MD more suited to answer any questions and unravel whatever mysteries? Or these investigations are a case of touch not my anointed NDC big men? These selective summons make it extremely difficult to avoid the impression that lawyer Minka Premo is attracting this special attention simply because he is currently lawyer for Kenneth Oforiatta. Good luck, lawyer Minka Premo, when you appear at Yoko this morning with your PDS client. It's in the unlikely event your paths cross with the Attorney General. Please tell him long time no press conference. The people of Ghana are itching for updates on his roles in both ECG PDS and Heath Mining at his earliest convenience. And this is G.A. Adbesinyale, who is a political activist, a human rights advocate, citizenship rights promoter, and social justice warrior, speaking on the lawyer of Ken Oforiatta, Justice Minka Premo, who is to appear at Yoko at 9 a.m. today. We'll take a breather. When we return, we'll bring you some more here on ABC in the morning. Do stay with us.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Markion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Some things never change. The meals we grew up loving, the taste that brings everyone together through every pot and every recipe. Gino remains the tomato mix you trust. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
back. You're still watching ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. It's time to have some conversation. Joining me today in the studio, Manasseh Atabwahene, who is a member of the NPP communications team, and Kingsley Basentale, a member of the NDC communications team. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Very good morning to you, and thanks for having us.
Kingsley, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. We thank God for life. I always say that I thank God for just two things, my life, and I thank God for the life of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for rescuing us from the shambles, the shackles, the turmoils of the autocratic regime of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, assisted by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So we thank God. We can only thank God for life. And as we speak now, we all know Ghana has become a hub of all construction sites. When you turn left, right, center, there's construction works ongoing. Look at the Intawam Road, you can see massive development. I just came back from Tamale, and when I was going, the state in which I saw the road when I was coming back had changed totally. When you go on the Cape Coast stretch, before you get to Winneba, from Kaswa to Winneba, you check the road, massive infrastructure ongoing. But before I just land, I just want to commend a young, vibrant lady by name Sally. She has a foundation, Sally Cares Foundation, and she's doing amazingly well. Just I think over the weekend, she donated to Bahas Mental Center in Wa. And I always say that what this young lady has done in 1 year, it's far more than what Rebecca Akufo-Addo and Samira Bawumia combined have done in 8 years. So let's empower young ladies like her. Let's encourage her to do more. Charitable works and all that.
All right, thank you.
Let me mention that because he has used more than 2 minutes in the introductory remarks, it's only fair for you to accord me saying time. Let me say a very good morning to the former vice president and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and his able wife Hajia Samira Bawumia, and also to convey the appreciation of the Ghanaian people to him when he recently met the chairman of the NDC, and to convey the message of the cocoa farmers, the cashew farmers, farmers in general, and even the young people who eagerly await job opportunities from the promise of the NDC, of the 24-hour economy and the 133 system, many of whom today do not have jobs. Today we are seeing an increase in the youth unemployment rate from 30% to about 39%. So Dr. Bawumia did well by cautioning the government that this is what Ghanaians are saying. And also for every Ghanaian, the question we are asking is that why are they sending us to the dark days of doom so? That's a very critical challenge. And so we commend him for mentioning that to Honorable Esiedun Ketia, and by extension to the NDC government, so that they will sit well and ensure that they're able to deliver on their promises and will not be going around on these flimsy excuses about why we don't have power. We'll come to that, so we'll discuss them in details.
All right. Well, Manasseh and Kingsley, thank you for your opening remarks. But we'll start our conversation today on the Bank of Ghana losses. Right. The Bank of Ghana released its financials, posted financials that they suffered some 156 billion Ghana cedi losses. The majority backs the Bank of Ghana when it comes to these losses.
15.6 billion.
15.6, beg your pardon. The majority goes on to say that, well, Bank of Ghana has really delivered us from some dark days. And then here comes in the minority that says that it is not 15.6 billion Ghana cedi losses. It's actually 44 billion Ghana cedi losses here. Manasseh, I'll start with you because it is a presser from the minority that sought to outline losses that you see the Bank of Ghana is hiding from us.
Abena, thanks for the opportunity. And let me mention that, you see, to start with, there are laws governing how the audited accounts of the Bank of Ghana should come out to the public domain. So when you read section 58 of the Bank of Ghana Act 2000, it is stated clearly that after 3 months, at the end of every financial year, in the next year, within 3 months, the Bank of Ghana is supposed to ferry their audited accounts to the Minister of Finance, so that the Minister of Finance will also attach his comments to it. The audited accounts will have to be gazetted, then the Minister of Finance will attach his comments to it, so that same will be ferried to Parliament. For the first time in 70 years, it has never happened that Bank of Ghana prepares a statement and they release it to a political party, for the political party to go to the President of Parliament, and you would find some people who are communicators of the NDC, you find some MPs and co, and they are the ones talking to the reports. This is unheard of, and it is highly it is so scandalizing. I was so surprised when I saw the presser being held, and I was asking myself, why are they doing this? Why are they denting the integrity and the operational independence of the Bank of Ghana? It is unwarranted, and so we are just cautioning the government that they should allow the Bank of Ghana to be independent.
I think
otherwise,
meddling in the Bank of Ghana.
Why should it be the case that Bank of Ghana has their account, and per the laws they are supposed to send it to the Minister of Finance? The Minister of Finance will add these comments and they'll bring it to Parliament. Okay, for some deliberations amongst others to be done, then all of a sudden you would find that it's some minority NDC people holding a presser on this. This is so wrong, and I am mentioning that it is important for everybody to know that the Bank of Ghana is not a political party. The Bank of Ghana is not, and so they shouldn't operate as such. And two, the board of the Bank of Ghana is not a majority caucus, so you can't work on your account, then you give it to some people within the NDC that they should go out and spread these things. We should not reduce the Bank of Ghana and its operations to some mere political activities or something. So that's the first thing. And two, when you go into the matter, the actual loss is not the 15.63 billion they mentioned. The actual loss is 44 billion. And in fact, just yesterday, Bank of Ghana issued a statement. When you check on their website, you would find a Bank of Ghana 2025 financial statement, question and answers. Now, when you come to the very first point, they mention, and I'm reading directly from the statement. So the Bank of Ghana reported an operating loss of 15.63 billion and other comprehensive income loss of 19.32 billion. So in this statement, Bank of Ghana admits that the loss is not only the 15.63 billion as has been reported as the comprehensive loss of the Bank of Ghana. There are other comprehensive income losses adding up to this, and when you add this, you get some 34.95 billion. And again, when you add the proceeds from the sale of gold, that one too is around 9 billion. So comprehensively, we are getting about 44 billion. If you would recall, in 2022, when the Bank of Ghana made a loss of 60 billion, you remember? There was so much noise. The Bank of Ghana then, in 2022, used the International Financial Reporting Standards so that they are able to, calculate all the expenses without hiding anything. Today, NDC comes in. What is even sad is that in their presser, they mentioned that they had used the same International Financial Reporting Standards. However, when you read the Bank of Ghana report, you would realize that the auditors and the managers of the bank are clear in stating that they did not use the International Financial Reporting Standards, but they use the internal BOG framework so that they are able to hide some of the losses and come out to the public domain and create the impression as though the loss is just 15.63 billion, which is not the case, which is never the case. And you see, what is very sad is that the same people who were preaching, who were sounding as whistleblowers, who were all over the place demonstrating against the the governor of the Bank of Ghana, amongst others, that they had incurred some 60 billion cedi loss, out of which 48 million was just as a result of the DDEP, where they had to step in, to cushion government to ensure that the economy doesn't ground to a halt. There was a demonstration led by Sami Jemfi, and they gave the governor, the then governor Addison, an ultimatum that within 21 days he should resign. Today, you come into office and you increase the negative equity of the Bank of Ghana from some 58 or so billion to around 93 billion. And you are here justifying the losses. Where are your morals? Where are your standards?
Aren't they also right in justifying these losses, such that the Bank of Ghana tells us that these losses were to shore up the economy? They tell us that these losses were to cushion the economy and make the economy quite buoyant than a sinking one. And so right now, if you look at the standard of living or the cost of living, it would be better than before. The inflation is doing better. The cedi against the dollar or other international currencies is also doing better. And so wouldn't they be justified in these excuses that you say they make?
You see, Abena, there is no justification in this, and this is not the first time. This is not the first time BOG is cushioning, the economy by way of its operations. Now, let us note that whoever claims that all this 44 billion is as a result of, stability amongst others, we ask that, are they talking about stability on paper or stability in the lived experiences of people? That's the question we are asking. Today, electricity tariffs has gone up by 28%. You and Kingsley and all Ghanaians who are watching us, our rent has been increased. The cost of our rent has gone up. Today, we have water tariffs which are shot up by some 14%. Today, prices of basic things, soap, sunlight, amongst others, previously 5 cedis, today 7 cedis, amongst others. Go to our various universities, here in Accra, Kumasi, wherever, and go and find out the cost of hostel fees. Cost of hostel fees, accommodation. Some people get admission to various universities because of the cost of hostel fees. They are unable to pursue their tertiary education. And so what kind of what kind of stability are they talking about? And let nobody deceive you that stability must not come at such huge cost. Of course, the Bank of Ghana, as they will claim, is not a profit-making institution, but that does not mean that the Bank of Ghana should incur losses. Per their operation, they are to ensure price stability, but they have the duty to ensure that they are able to do this within the least cost possible, especially when there are no crises. In 2022, when there were crises, COVID, external shocks, amongst others, every economy across the world experienced some form of challenge or the other. And when you check the equity of the bank, in fact, in 2022, the loss was around 60 billion. When you check the loss in 2023, it came down to around 19 billion. In 2024, it came down to 9 billion. So the negative equity of the bank was reducing. How is it then that in 2025 you increase the negative equity of the bank or the losses from 9 billion to 44 billion? And you see, let's go back to the statement of the governor. Governor, just in a second, in the statement of the governor, Governor Addison, when His Excellency the President was swearing him in, he mentioned that what he seeks to do is to ensure that he is able to reverse the negative equity of the bank.
Siama, you mean?
Of course, Daphne Siama. What he intends to do is to reverse the negative equity of the bank so that the incidence of losses of the bank, will be a thing of the past, to ensure that he is able to restore credibility, to ensure that they are able to gain trust, and to ensure that Bank of Ghana operates at a full force. Unfortunately for us, we are not seeing this. And I can sense that the governor himself will be very, very worried. And so he must stand firm and not allow the NDC party to control how he's running the affairs. Otherwise, he will bring the Bank of Ghana to its knees.
All right, let me go to Kingsley real quick. Kingsley, from conversations, it looks like it is the government running the Bank of Ghana rather than an independent body or institution run itself. And this has perpetuated in conversations. Is government interfering in the running of the central bank?
Absolutely no. Since years back, we all know Bank of Ghana has been an independent body on its own. And he answered one of my questions that I wanted to ask. And I just want us to be interactive. Bank of Ghana, first of all, isn't a profit-making entity. Since when did Bank of Ghana become a sole proprietorship? Since when Bank of Ghana's main objective was to make profit? What is the mandate of Bank of Ghana? Once you know this, then we can have a conversation. Bank of Ghana must liaise with the Ministry of Finance to basically cushion the economy in terms of prices of goods and services, in terms of our currency. Now, let's not be shallow-minded. Let's have a broader conversation and a broader context to all these happenings and to the losses incurred. So, why are we experiencing this? One, I'll say, is as a result of the performance of the cedi. Over the past 4 months, our cedi has been stable, and you know that. Gone were the days we were exchanging, the cedi to the dollar at somewhere 17 Ghana cedis. By today, as I speak to you now, we are doing 11 Ghana cedis. We have stabilized the cedi to the extent that Ghana has now become like Dubai, because now everyone, importers, exporters, businessmen, businesswomen, are able to plan ahead of time using the cedi because it is stable. Now, what happens is that our cedi has appreciated. It has, the value has increased. So what it simply means is that foreign denominated assets has devalued, and in accounting terms, that is considered as a loss. Now, you claim in 2024, you claim that you experienced profit. In 2024, yes, admittedly, they experienced profit. Bank of Ghana came out and published some gains they had made. But what was the state of the economy in 2024? What was our exchange rate? What was our inflation rate in 2024? So when we make comparisons, let's look at it and how it affects the economy. I ask you, what was the exchange rate in 2024? What was the inflation rate in 2024? We had the head of the economics management team, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, saying he will arrest the dollar. He gave us assurance. He will arrest the dollar, put the key in the IGP's pocket. What happened? The dollar had run away, had escaped jail, entered our markets, ballooned to the extent that the cedi was begging to catch up to the dollar. We never saw the dollar again. It had entered our market, and for the first time, Usain Bolt had lost a 100-meter race to the dollar. It had ballooned, and unprecedented in the history of Ghana. We've never had such high amounts like that. What was our inflation rate? He rightly said, if your fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So admittedly, Bawumia's fundamentals clearly are weak because the exchange rate clearly exposed them. You made profit in 2024. Yes, there were gains. Bank of Ghana recorded some gains. But yet, what was the state of the economy? Now, we have what we also call monetary policies. Now, they had printed so much money in the economy that there was a lot of money chasing fewer goods. And you and I know that in terms of economics, even if you do a simple demand and supply curve, you realize that as demand increases, prices of goods and services will increase. So that's what we call inflationary pressure. Now you have a lot of money chasing fewer goods and the demand is high. So definitely prices of goods and services will increase. Now central bank has to now come in and disperse or control the amount of liquid in the economy or in the system. And you think all these things don't come at a cost? Now, inflation rates.
So these things justify the losses we have made?
Oh no, but you think it doesn't come at a cost? Stabilizing the cedi, you think it doesn't come at a cost?
So the question is, it justifies it?
Yes, it justifies it. But let's look at the bigger picture, is looking at it against the economy. What is the real state of the economy? And I'll give you a breakdown now. Because Bank of Ghana is independent, normally it's not good to do politics with this. But once he has started, then let's go on that tangent. This is the annual report and financial statement 2022 published by Bank of Ghana. The first 2 pages will give you a clue on everything. This is the year in numbers. Sorry, I've written in. This is the year in numbers. And it says headline inflation 54.1%. Headline in 2022. Inflation was 54.1%. And I was so sad because gone are the days. My favorite snack is ebroni in Cartier. And those days, when you are going to buy ebroni in Cartier, you can, before the woman fetches in the bottle or in the rubber bag for you, you can have a taste of it. But I attempted doing that in 2022, and the woman hit my hand and said, "Hey, Abrantia, who named the way our prices of goods and services are cost through?" I was sad. The worst, what broke the camel's back was my Kofi Brookman. I was sad to hear Kofi Brookman was going for 15 Ghana cedis. How? Now, you have monetary policy rate, 27% in 2022, 27%. This is the rate at which commercial banks go to the central banks for loans. So if commercial bank is going to the central bank is taking them 27% on their loans. How much? Now, as a businessman, you now go to the commercial bank for a loan. How much do you think the bank will charge you? So you realize you go for a loan and you are paying somewhere around 40% on the loan you've gone for. Why? Because the commercial banks go for the loan at 27%. Now, they will factor in the administrative cost. They will factor in profit because they are a profit-making institution or entity. They will factor in what we call risk assessment and all this. So you realize you go for a loan and you are unable to even pay your loans as a result of the high interest rate on the loans. Now, 19th December 2022, that was after a day after my birthday, after celebrating my birthday nicely, only to hear the next day that Ghana had declared itself incapable of servicing its debt obligations. In fact, we placed a moratorium on our local and foreign debts, simply stating that we cannot even pay $1 of our loans. When we came into power, what did we do? We settled a $700 million Eurobond ahead of schedule. What was our credit rating before they handed power to us? We had a credit rating of CC+. We moved it from CCC+ to B-. All this, and you think we just want to come and lament here. Now, let's look at when they handed power to us in 2024. Annual report and financial statement. But before that, he made mention of some losses incurred in 2022. And I'll read this. This is a statement. I'll read and I'll show you the actual losses that were incurred by Bank of Ghana in 2022. I'll just read quickly. The Bank of Ghana incurred...
I want us to focus more on 2025.
Yes, I'm coming there. This is the 2024 report. I'll come there. The Bank of Ghana incurred a significant loss in 2022, largely as a result of DDEP. The central bank's holdings of government debt were restructured. Non-marketable holdings of Government of Ghana instruments, including long-term stocks, a COVID-19 bond, and overdraft were subjected to a 50% haircut. Bank of Ghana's other claims were exchanged under similar terms as other financial institutions under the DDEP. This led to an impairment of 48.4 billion Ghana cedis in 2022. Now, at the same time, it continues, at the same time, the bank incurred revaluation losses on its foreign assets and liabilities due to exchange rate depreciation. The impairment and revaluation losses led to a negative equity position of 55.12 billion for 2022. This is it, signed by NSKY Addison, Governor, Bank of Ghana. And you come and sit here and tell me the losses you incurred were only 48 points. How dare you say that? Let's look at 2024.
Can you what I said?
Manasseh, let him land.
Listen. You go ahead.
Then I'll let you come in. So, go on.
Go on. Proceed. Now, in 2024, inflation rate 23.8%, monetary policy rate.
When do we get to 2025? Because I want
we are getting there. I'll show you. We are getting there. Headline inflation 23.8%, monetary policy rate 27%. They still maintained it. How can you boost investor confidence with such a monetary policy rate? Because if commercial banks are going to the central banks for loans, and the central bank is giving them those loans at 27%, commercial bank now comes, you as a private individual, a businesswoman goes to the commercial bank, they add their administrative costs, they add their profit, they add their risk assessment percentage. How much do you think the commercial bank will give you an ordinary citizen, a private individual loans? Let us explain this to the Ghanaian people and let them understand what it means. So you go for a loan and you are charged 40%, 50% on the loan. How possible? Now, their real GDP growth was 5.7%. Ours in 2025, we had a projected real GDP growth of 4%. We did 6%. Now let's come to 2025. You said we should come to 2025. Let's come to 2025. And these are actual figures. What is our current inflation rate? I checked today. Our inflation rate stands at 3.2%. You said let's check 2025. We are checking 2025. They handed over to us. It was 23%. Today is 3.2%. Unprecedented. One. The CD appreciated by 41% to the dollar. It appreciated by over 30% to the pound. It appreciated by over 24% to the euro. Let's come to modern terms. Today, CD is trading for 11 Ghana cedis to the dollar. You said we should come to 2020. I'm giving you 2025 statistics and figures. The monetary policy rate, they gave it to us at 27%, as I showed you in 2024. Now we are doing 14% of the monetary policy rate. Let's come to 2025. We are in it. Gross international reserves, we've moved it from 9.1 billion to about 14.5 billion. You can check. These are facts I'm giving you. Our lending rate has dropped from 30.2% to 17.7%. Check it out if these are not facts. Public debt ratio dropped from 62% to 45%. You can check it out. These are 2025 statistics I'm giving you. So when you come, even with losses, what is the state of the economy? I told you, our projected real GDP growth stood at 4%. That was what was projected in 2025. At the end of 2025, we're doing 6%. And you come and sit here and say, look, even if you make gains, even if Bank of Ghana made gains in 2024, what was the state of the economy? That's what matters. That's what the ordinary Ghanaian people want to hear. That's what market women want to hear. That's what concerned businessmen and women, investors want to hear. You are doing this. Do you expect to boost investor confidence? But with all this, Abena, if I tell you that the rate at which business people, investors are trooping in Ghana because of these brilliant policies and because we've reduced inflation, because our CD has appreciated, you'll be amazed at the number of small businesses that can now have the confidence and go to banks for loans and just being charged a minimal, interest rate to pay on those loans. You'll be amazed how the market women are happy. You'll be amazed how importers and exporters now, because of the CD appreciation, do not have to, have a huge sum of CDs just to change for a few dollars. You'll be amazed how all these people are happy. What is the state of the economy? You made gains, admittedly, in 2024. They recorded some gains, but yet, what was the state of the economy? We were suffering. That's the truth. The ordinary Ghanaian doesn't care about whether you made gains or not. They care about the inflation rate. They care about the CD appreciating.
The ordinary Ghanaian does not care about making gains.
What you explain to a market woman that Bank of Ghana made gains, but yet still she couldn't sell her items. Do you think they understand that language?
No, are you saying that the Ghanaian market woman does not understand?
How are you going to explain DDEP to a market woman? Let's be factual.
No, let's
be factual and not only go by
calm down. Let us also not insult the intelligence of our market women by saying that how do you explain policies to them? They also vote on policies.
Yeah,
so please, let's hasten slowly on that. Okay. Lest we insult our market people.
Yeah, if it was taken otherwise, I apologize for that. But they need real-time solutions. That's what I mean. They need real-time solutions. They need you to tell them that, okay, inflation has come down, simply meaning that prices of goods and services have come down, simply meaning that once it comes down, a lot of people can now have money to now purchase those goods and services. They need all these explanations. Importers and exporters, you think they want to hear politicians speak about all these percentages? And no, they are interested in making money. They are interested in they need confidence. They are interested in the exchange rate. How can they change their cedis into dollars to purchase goods from foreign countries and all that? Those are what the conversations we need to be having. But you go here and say percentages, but no, those Ghanaians are now discerning. You can't come and be lying to them on policies and percentages.
All right, let me come back.
Let's simplify the conversation.
Let me come back to Manasseh.
As I said, what was the state of the economy?
Manasseh, if what Kingsley is saying is all that we have to go by, it is basically what is on the ground that is important, and not really the huge technicalities you are throwing at us as a minority concerning what is hidden or what is not hidden within the financials.
Now, let me begin first by saying that whenever we have the opportunity to engage the Ghanaian public on policy dimensions as we have today, we should be mindful and guided by our statements. Okay, I was shocked to the spine when he mentioned that, do you think the ordinary Ghanaians care or understand, they care about losses of BOG and those things? And I am happy you drew his attention to it. Please, we are young people. Let's not, for the sake of political expediences, insult Ghanaians and think we'll go scot-free. It wouldn't help us. You and I are very young, so let's be minded by these things too. Kingsley, please. The fact that your inflation figures, it is not correct to say that inflation has come down, meaning the prices of goods and services are also coming down. It is not true, please. In pure economics, inflation, if you have lower inflation, it does not necessarily mean the prices of goods and services are coming down. The rate is just telling you that the rate of increase is rather slower. Okay, so the rate of increase, okay, so prices are increasing at a slower rate. Inflation being lower doesn't mean the prices of goods and services, as you would find today on the market, has now been reduced. That is never the case. So please be guided by that. And you see, is it today that the NDC is knowing that, oh, now Bank of Ghana, they are not profit making? So it's only today, it's only when you came into power that you are realizing that Bank of Ghana, as independent as they are supposed to be, is not a profit making body. And you come and sit here, you make all the noise. When you were in opposition, and in 2022, when BOG incurred the loss of 60 billion, you people were out there demonstrating. The very office you are occupying today is demonstrate about the beautiful edifice they have there. Why did you demonstrate if you know that BOG is not supposed to make laws?
I'll tell you.
It is very funny.
I'll tell you.
And today you find the same people making all the noise all over. So it tells you about their mentality about Ghanaians. So it is only today that they are knowing that when BOG needs to help with the economic successes, it comes at a cost. So when they were in opposition, they didn't know that. And they criticized the then MPP government and the governor himself. They dragged him amongst others. But today they come and they are saying, oh, it will come at a cost. If you had listened to me, you wouldn't have bothered reading all these things, because I sat here and I mentioned that in 2022, the losses incurred by Bank of Ghana to the tune of 60 billion had 48 billion as a result of the domestic debt exchange program. I mentioned that. Today you sit here and you boast that your inflation rate is around 3.2% and you are happy. We reduced inflation from 54% as you mentioned, in 2022 to 23% when we were leaving office, early January 2025. We reduced inflation by cumulatively some 30 percentage points. And it cost us just around 9 billion Ghana cedis. You have reduced inflation by just 20 percentage points. And you've spent, yes, 20. Ours was 30 percentage points with 9 billion Ghana cedis. You have done this by reducing it by 20 percentage points from 23% to some 3%. And you've spent over 44 billion. And we are raising the argument, and you are here making all the noise. It doesn't work like that. It is not prudent for Bank of Ghana to continue to incur such higher losses just because they want to manage the economy. They must be brought to accountability to ensure that they operate on its own, not allowing government to interfere, so that they can give us value for money. Today you sit here, you talk about the state of the economy. Which state of the economy are you talking about? Today, when the price of rent is going up so high, today, when this year alone we've experienced 28% increase in electricity tariffs, what are you talking about? All these numbers are just in the papers. Go to town and interview people and engage them on their lived experiences. And you'll be surprised at what you hear. Today, VIP bars. Those of us who have our families in Kumasi, we've been frequenting Accra, Kumasi, back and forth. Accra, Takrade, Accra, Tamale, amongst others. He mentioned that he came from Tamale. Maybe he's in government, so he came by air. Nobody knows. But VIP bars have increased their transport fares so astronomically. These are the things we are talking about. So if you are boasting about your figures and they do not translate into making the lives of people better, then it is meaningless. Today you sit here and you boast that the monetary policy rate has come down, which is true. Do you know what is happening? The commercial banks today do not give out a lot of credit to the public so that businesses are able to go in for these loans to expand. What they are doing is that they are keeping their monies and they are lending it back to the Bank of Ghana at a higher interest rate. And that is what has caused this higher cost. Okay, what BOG has done, excuse me. What BOG has done is that they have reversed the recovery process. There's what we call the dynamic cash reserve ratio. Okay, so initially, if you are a commercial bank, there is some basic limit or percentage of your cash that you are supposed to hold with the Bank of Ghana. And you are supposed to lend the rest out, so that businesses are able to come for credit. Mm-hmm. Okay, what they have done, and under MPP, what we were doing with the domestic cash reserve ratio is that if you are a bank, and let's say you have just 1,000 cedis, you are supposed to keep 10% with the BOG. Okay, so it means you are keeping 100 cedis with Bank of Ghana. Then the 900 cedis you have, you lend them out, so that private people are able to come for loans amongst others. Use it for your operations. However, if you are a bank and you decide, for example, that as for you, you will not lend the 900 cedis, BOG would sweep your money at no cost to the bank. So if you are not lending, BOG will take that money. They could take about 50% and still they are not paying anything on it. Then the remaining of the 50%, should you want to buy, instruments from Bank of Ghana, you earn interest on it. When they came, they reversed all these processes and they are saying that now if you are a bank, beyond your 10%, you can always come and buy instruments with Bank of Ghana. And now when you go into their books, the huge cost is because of the high interest rate Bank of Ghana is paying for mopping up excess liquidity from the economy. Thus far, BOG has mopped over 93 billion Ghana cedis from the economy. There is no money in the economy. There is no money. That's why we are having all these energy sector crisis among others. So please don't come and sit here and be ranting all over, quoting numbers when they mean nothing to the Ghanaian people.
Just 1 minute.
Quoting numbers when the private sector are cash strapped. Okay, because the commercial banks will not lend to them, but they would rather send their monies to BOG for higher interest rates. Why would the Bank of Ghana mop up this liquidity at such high interest rates that will become a cost to the state and to everyone? And today, Bank of Ghana has become policy insolvent. What it means, you see, back to his statement that who cares? Who cares if BOG is making losses? The worry is that, Kingsley, today BOG is policy insolvent. In fact, they cannot raise enough money to even cater for their monetary policy operations, amongst others. And that is very critical. The implication is that they would have to be financed by government. So our taxes, the same market people, ordinary Ghanaians who are insulting, they are the same people that government will go to them by way of taxes, collect them, and bring them back to the Bank of Ghana so that they are able to engage in their operations. So these are very critical issues we are raising, so that the governor will set up, the BOG will set up, and the government will ensure that they are able to wash their hands of all these unnecessary interference to the Bank of Ghana, so that they will not issue their audited statement to a political party to go and be reading it out to the people. These are the things. So when we raise these issues, we want objective analysis and not anybody sitting anywhere and just making noise that do not really amount to the reality on the ground. Ghanaians are suffering. Everybody is suffering. Rent is going up, electricity bill is going up, transport fares going up. So you cannot sit here and boast about the economy when things are not really good on ground. So let's talk about the losses, and let's ensure that going forward, BOG does not incur these losses. Otherwise, it will become a cost to you and I. We'll have to raise money to finance the operations of the Bank of Ghana, and BOG will go back and be paying higher interest, by way of mopping up excess liquidity. This is something that is very worrying.
The independent auditors of the statement, KPMG, say that Bank of Ghana should be more transparent to the people.
Are they not transparent enough?
This is the independent auditors. They are saying that Bank of Ghana, let me bring this to your attention. They say that the Bank of Ghana must be more transparent to the people, should disclose things clearer to the people. This way, in interpreting the bank's financial position, the average Ghanaian, all stakeholders of which the average Ghanaian is a part of, would better understand the bank's position. And in understanding the bank's position, this will reduce potential confusion of the Bank of Ghana's financial position. This is quite significant coming from an independent auditor of the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, I think the Bank of Ghana has been transparent enough. I mean, to me.
To you, okay.
Yeah, I think it's clear. You go on their website, they published it. So what transparency do you want?
The bank's position. It's not just about the
I think
website.
they've been clear. If you read the reports, they've been clear. Do you think there are other losses they are hiding? They've been clear. Now, back to why
if they were not clear, let me ask this. If they were not clear, why would we find the minority hold a presser, tell us that these are losses found here and there, accumulate the losses and tell us that contrary to 15.6%, there's 15.6 billion, there's 44 billion Ghana cedi losses, for which now the question that is on a lot of minds, is that, is the Bank of Ghana lying to us, or are they telling us the truth? Do you think that if they were as transparent and as clear with us enough, the minority would have the opportunity to punch holes?
Oh no. For me, I believe BOG has always been clear and transparent. This is not even about punching holes and all that. If it was about punching holes, we'll come and sit here and talk about the 60 billion they incurred in 2022. So it's not about punching holes now.
So you don't agree with the
I don't
auditors.
agree. I feel they are transparent. Yes, I highly disagree with them. I feel Bank of Ghana has been transparent as possible. And looking at my brother's kaftan, I think it's been long he entered the market. Go to Medina Market, go to the grounds, go and ask. Your media station can go to the various markets, go and ask the prices of anolonka of gari, go and ask prices of bags of rice, go and ask a bucket of tomato, how much is going for. Go to the ground and find out from the people. Just go. It's been long he went to the market, and I will not blame him. Now, why we demonstrated in 2022 was simple. There was extreme hardship in the country in 2022. Extreme hardship. A lot of taxes were imposed on us. We were already suffering. We were already handicapped. Now you say no. You just want to finish us, kill us, just kill us. You introduced emission tax. We didn't talk. You introduced what we call baller tax. We didn't talk. Now betting tax. What you will not create jobs for the boys and girls. Betting tax these people do just to survive 1-2-1-2. You say no, you have an interest in the betting they are doing. Not only that, I gave you inflation rate. I said we were suffering in 2022. They even COVID-19 ended somewhere around 2020, 2021. As at 2024, we were still being charged COVID-19 taxes, and it's evident. It's evident, you know. At the detriment of the Ghanaian people, yet still these big men would go, fly. Imagine you are going for debt, you are going to Europe for them to pardon you of your debt or reduce your debt. But yet still you arrive in Europe with a high-class private jet. The one who gave you the loan has never seen before. You arrive in Europe in luxury. Look at the amount we were paying per hour for the jet. And yet still you were going there to beg for debt reliefs. Imagine, I gave you a loan. Imagine I give you a loan. Now you are unable to pay the loan. The next day I see you coming to my house with a Rolls Royce. What do you mean? All this at the detriment of the Ghanaian people. We were suffering. I told you 19th December 2022, that was when Ghana declared itself incapable of servicing our debt obligations. We had an inflation of 54.1%. I told you the monetary policy rate of 27%. I told you in 2022 alone, we had what we call balance of payments deficit to a tune of, just to be clear, to a tune of $3.6 billion. That simply means that we were importing more than we were exporting. Balance of payments deficit. And look at the tune, $3.6 billion. And you think that is not enough? You think you can just sit here and just throw dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people? Exchange rates. At a point, we were exchanging the dollar at 17 Ghana cedis. Fuel prices. Let's not even go far. We all use cars. Fuel prices. At a point, it hit 20 Ghana cedis. And you come and sit here, and some people tend to blame their abysmal performance and failure and plunder on the Russian-Ukraine war. We are, as I speak to you now, that war is still ongoing. We also have Iran and US ongoing. So we should have even been hit harder. But as a result of good leadership, we are able to maintain and stabilize our inflation rate. We are able to maintain and stabilize our exchange rate and also fuel prices.
Okay, Kingsley. I'll take a breather. When I return, we'll have some more conversation. We'll move away from Bank of Ghana and take a look at the past situation in the country. Government tells us that it is doing its best to ensure that the lights are on. Up until when would we see that happen? After this break, you stay with me.
Things never change. The meals we grew up loving, the taste that brings everyone together, through every pot and every recipe, Gino remains the tomato mix you trust. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Baby, we are second. So you remember to pon need advert. Let's why so by advert no you to pon na kwara nim dia.
Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or product? Bring your company's vision to life.
And then make media house we are potential films. So you must don't worry. So open to you to pon a course through advert dia contact woman.
We help businesses build their brands.
Ukraine omoduma hote omo quality can so many try.
Reach their target audience and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
Omoduma be new. Omoduma is perfect. Contact no good script about your product, sound, jet. They'll give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So picture unya na no makasa. First number way 0541 16 28 28. I'm repeat 0541 16 28 28. Call them. Number more
Potential firms. We believe in quality.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back. You're still watching ABC and the morning live on ABC News GH with me, Manasseh Tabuahene of the NPP and Kingsley Basantale of the NDC. Away from the Bank of Ghana, let's take a look at power in the country, power stability. The Energy Ministry tells us that they are changing transformers, and so for that we would experience some power cuts. However, they tell us that stability is one thing that for a while we should be really experiencing. But is that so? Are we having some power stability? Or is government telling us what they want us to know? Well, since I have both the NPP and the NDC here, let's talk about that. Kingsley, last time you were here, you were giving me timelines about the lights staying on.
I gave you accurate timelines on when we resolve the Akosombo Inferno. I told you by the end of the week that passed, we would restore all 6 turbines. I did say that here.
Turbines, is it turbines or the units? Because we confuse two things.
Yes,
turbines
are units.
The turbines are units.
That's just a simple explanation to that. I gave you accurate timelines. I told you. I kept my integrity on the line. I told you, Abena, that by the end of the week, we will restore all 6 units. I told you. You are here. You can confirm. Please confirm it.
We come back to the power.
Yes.
The lights. We are still experiencing lights out in areas. We are writing BC at this point. The students, candidates writing exam. It is very much worrying that you would have to go home and in some areas the lights are not on. And there's no constituency in the country or no locality where there are no BC candidates. Over 620,000 candidates writing the BC. Couldn't we at least, for this 1 week, the 4th till 11th, or even say the week before the 4th till 11th, keep the lights on for our candidates to learn with their lights and go and write the exams in the morning?
Okay, so I don't want to speak from a political angle, but even if I'm to speak from a political angle, it's highly unfortunate these incidents are happening and concurrently with the BEC. It's highly unfortunate, and as I rightly said, you looking at the expressions and the demeanor of the energy minister, you can see how he's determined, how he's resolute in solving this power crisis. But I want to speak today from a citizen perspective. I'm a citizen of Adenta. I stay in Adenta. For the past 3 days, to my best of knowledge, we've not had power outage. It tripped for, I think, 3 minutes and came back, I think, yesterday. But I'm speaking from the view of someone who stays in Adenta. And if I'm lying, you can call or anyone can phone in from Adenta. Now, I told you we've started what we call the substations upgrade. Adenta has a substation, and over the week, somewhere last week, it had been replaced. The transformer had been replaced from 20 kV to 30 kV over I think somewhere last week. You go to Lashibi, the substation there had been replaced from 20 kV to 30 kV. So it's unfortunate, but I know with time we are going to, all the substations within Ghana, I'm 100% sure that will replace all those obsolete transformers and bring in new ones. I told you, Tamale alone, sometime last week we deployed 200 new transformers. By the end of the week we had deployed another 140 new transformers. I told you at the end of this all, we aim at deploying 3,000 new transformers. Now what people don't understand is that these transformers have a limit capacity it can take. Now we have an increasing demand and a growing population,
which we have dealt with on in our conversation.
Yes,
So I don't want us to go back to it again.
As I speak to you now, the 6 units have been restored, and we are changing major substations within major cities. Adenta, you go there right now, you see a brand new transformer in our substation.
My question is that couldn't government have anticipated that something like BEC was coming up, and so let us work around these periods? There are 2 things that are constant in our nation. We write BEC, we write WASI, and there's a timetable for it. The WASI is in a certain period, a 2 to 3 month period where practicals and theory would be written. BEC is within a week, and so let's say we give it even a month period. And so all of these changes, could they not have been done after these very major external examinations? I took the time to surf social media yesterday. And I see parents complaining that how are their kids to learn in a situation like this? These are major examinations they write, determining the next step of their lives. And so couldn't we have done this work? As for the fire, nobody could have anticipated the fire, but transformer changes are things that you would plan ahead for. Could we not have anticipated these periods and then decided to work after BEC had completed, or work after WASI had completed?
Yeah, so I made mention of, in our earlier conversation, I made mention of what we call the planned maintenance and unplanned maintenance.
Transformers are...
How do you...
Where do transformers
as a result... I'll come there. As a result, how do you expect the government to anticipate a force majeure?
I literally just said that as for the fire at Akosombo, it could not be anticipated, granted. But these transformer changes are anticipated changes or upgrades.
So the transformer changes fall under what we call planned, and I explained to you, it falls under what we call planned maintenance. Now, what we are experiencing, as I'm explaining again, is as a result of obsolete transformers. Even if we don't change them, as a result, you are saying, okay, what you are simply saying is, okay, this is not a time to do the upgrade because of what's going on, the BEC examination and all. Fair enough. But if we don't change them, as a result of obsolete transformers, we would have what we call frequent power outages and frequent power trips. Why? Because there's so much pressure on the old transformers. They cannot handle the capacity. I told you, what we are forgetting to understand is you have a transformer that has, let's say, 10 kV. Now, we have an increasing population. Now, so there's so much demand on the transformer, and the capacity cannot handle this. So it would be unable to predict when that particular transformer would trip. It will just simply be unable to determine because of the demand, because the transformer cannot handle the excess demand, the pressure it's taking. So if we don't change them, even if we don't change them, we'll still experience power outages and power trips. Now, but we are assuring the BEC candidates that, I mean, for the time being, we are working around the clock.
BEC ends on Friday,
yes,
so time
today is Wednesday.
What?
Today is Wednesday. So did they experience light out, shoe out? No, that's false.
But
no,
that's
false.
And in situations like these, you do not postpone an exam.
No,
we do not postpone. And so if one person even experienced that yesterday, we have put that person at a disadvantage for the paper they were going to write today.
Let's be factual here. They were in JHS for about 3 years. It's essential you do a night revision of what you've learned. But if you've not grasped what has been taught in 3 years, just you want to blame your failure on just this recent
Are
power
you,
outage.
are you being
come on.
fair to my candidates, to our candidates? These are teenagers who are writing their exam.
I understand. That's why I told you I want to assure them.
So they should be okay with lights going on.
I'm not saying they should be okay. It's not good. Because I've been a candidate before.
All of us have.
Yes, it's not good. But I'm just saying that, well, I believe in these candidates. I know they've learned a lot. They've learned enough. And one night alone will not determine their failure or will not determine whether they pass or not. I believe strongly in this, our current BEC candidates, and I know they'll do well. I know, because preparations towards BEC by the Honorable Education Minister Haruna Idrisu have been solid and robust, unprecedented. It has preparations towards go to their schools just before they were about to write BEC. Go and see go to the government schools, how they were prepared, how they were studying to write this exam. So they are prepared even from the beginning. They are prepared. Preparations have been solid, and I believe in this current BEC squad. I know they'll come out with flying colors. I know very well they'll come out. Why? Because you don't take one day to prepare for exams. Will you admit that or not? You don't take a day to prepare for exams. We've been preparing these kids for exams for 3 good years. They are solid, and as a result of the brilliant intervention of the education minister, these people, I can tell you on authority, who come here again and would analyze the rate at the number of students that pass compared to former years, who will come here amidst ongoing crisis, who will come here again and discuss that on set. I assure you again, as I assured you about the ECG, I'm assuring you again that these students are highly prepared.
I do not want us to even go into the challenges or otherwise of the education sector. There are complaints that extra classes that were instituted has been cancelled by this government.
Extra classes?
Yes, at the basic level.
I'm surprised you are saying this, because few weeks ago when I went to Tamale, we went to the schools late. They were having extra classes. We arrived in Tamale at 5 p.m. The school closes at 3 p.m. Us at 5 p.m. we arrived. They were still in
Former Minister of Education talked about the extra classes that were cancelled.
I'm surprised.
But again, like I said, not even to look at the challenges or otherwise of the education sector that they are. I'm particularly concerned about your stance with regards to.
They are highly prepared.
It begs or it reeks of becoming too comfortable with even mediocrity at whatever form it is, because keeping the lights on should be the norm. The norm.
Yep.
And so when the lights go off, even if for 1 second, should be an issue.
Yep.
The lights on the night before an exam has different effects on anybody. Somebody needs the light to sleep adequately, the fan on to sleep adequately. A candidate going to write exam, imagine them sleeping in the heat. How do they manage that? For another candidate, the night before could be the turning point in their lives.
Absolutely.
In writing the exam. And so,
I'm not disputing.
Again, that was my question.
Yes.
Could we not have, through whatever interventions we could have had, kept the lights on fully during this period of examination? During this period, I don't know if you have younger brothers or sisters who are also writing their WASI and the rest, and who have also complained that their lights go off and they need to use torch lights. These are very
these
sensitive matters for our brothers and sisters who are young.
We admit that yes, we have what we call the energy sector crisis. We are in crisis, and to solve crisis, it will take time. So we are begging, we are pleading on behalf of the government and the energy sector that look, this phase will come to an end. We know, we believe in the young individuals who are writing their BEC. We believe in their potentials as a result of how well we've prepared them, how well we've groomed them for these exams. And as the Education Minister rightly said, I mean, these people are well prepared because nothing will be taken off guard, off syllabus. No question will be asked off syllabus. So these people are well prepared and well groomed, and we believe in their potential. As I'll say again, we will come and sit here and do a comparative analysis of the rate at which students passed in this amidst ongoing crisis.
Manasseh, on the electricity issue, today I focus more on the period of the exam because I can't imagine writing an exam when my lights are going on and off. It would totally disorient me. It would totally, and so many people talk about these things. We've collected 1 Ghana cedi per litre levy, a levy that was amongst other things to deal with the various challenges within the energy sector, and then we are still seeing what we are seeing. There's still pockets of lights out in areas. Do we continue to give government some time?
Abena Kingsley has done 13 minutes on this very particular topic. I want to use part of my time to quickly address some of the things he said, because one of them he pointed to me directly. He mentioned that because of my kaftan, I don't go to the market. He cited Medina. Medina is where I live. I've lived in Medina. I came to the University of Ghana in 2010. I completed in 2014. So throughout all this period, I've lived in Medina, and I've lived closer to the market. So every now and then, that's why I apply my trade. Okay, so the prices of goods and services, please, are going up. So let's not mix these things. And I was surprised to hear Kingsley mention when he was asked why they demonstrated against the Bank of Ghana.
You want to go back to Bank of Ghana?
Yes, because I have more time. He mentioned that it was because of extreme hardship. So you have misplaced priorities. Okay, if you feel there are misplaced priorities, why would you demonstrate against an independent body as sacrosanct as Bank of Ghana? So it was all politics, nothing serious. That's what you have indicted yourself to point out today. And finally, I was surprised to hear him try and chip in some arguments that, you know, because of the Israel and Iran war, Ghanaians should be hit harder. These conversations, they are done and dusted, my brother, because His Excellency the President today, when he was in opposition, was very clear to every Ghanaian that the distance between Accra and Ukraine is over 7,000 kilometers. And in his own words, okay, and when you check the distance between Accra and where they are having this war, it is over 9,000 kilometers. So you have set the precedent that external shocks such as wars do not have any implications on the Ghanaian economy.
Manas, let me hold you for just a moment and open my phone lines, and I'll let you continue. You can call me 0539161609, 0539161609, and share your thoughts with me. Manas, as you were.
Yes, so they said that in opposition, they are in power. You need to hold on to that. So as for those arguments, don't raise them. Otherwise, you indict yourself. You see, of all the conversations we've had today, I am very sad with the submission Kingsley made, especially when he mentioned that, you know, for our younger brothers and sisters who are writing the BEC this week, they've had 3 years, you know, to study, and that it cannot be that if for one night, if they don't have light, that cannot determine whether they will pass or not. I am very sad to hear this. Okay, and I've mentioned that Kingsley, we are young people. We are young people. It is not right. It is not right for us to make certain statements out of political expediencies. It is not the best.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, and you see, there are some people who would have a difference in their life because throughout the night they are able to go through some past questions. They are able to have someone explain some concepts to them, so that thankfully, if they are fortunate enough to meet those questions, they are able to answer them. So please don't undermine the relevance of keeping the lights on, especially for our younger brothers and sisters. What I would have wished, you know, would have been that all these intermittent power supply, the government of course should have just being sensitive to the plight of our younger brothers and sisters to say that because of your BEC, we beg you, we are keeping the lights on, no doom so you finish your BEC. When you are done, then we would have appreciated this much better. But if you come and sit here and you say that you had 3 years to study, so one night of doom cannot cause you to fail, that is way below the belt. That is extreme politicization of these things. And I feel so sorry, and I even want to apologize on your behalf. I don't think it's the way to go. But you see, Abena, it's not surprising. It is not surprising that today we are having this doom. And you see, Sami Jemfi, a staunch member of the NDC, was very clear. In fact, he said that it is not justified for Ghana to experience doom even for one day after 2016. And that I can share the video to so that your producer will play it if you so desire.
All right, but yes. let's also.
I'm on the doomsday topic.
Yes,
are we not talking about doomsday? This is what Sami Jemfi said. He says it is haram. It is not justified for Ghana to experience doomsday after 2016. But you see, for me,
transformers they are changing to increase capacity.
Have you listened to the chairman of the NDC? Have you listened to his interview on one of your sister stations? And he mentioned that you cannot tell Ghanaians that because you are working on transformer over here, let's turn the power off at this side. So that it doesn't happen.
But between the chairman and the energy minister, who should we listen to?
Abena, you see, let's not confuse ourselves over these things.
Okay.
Let us not. You see, first, let us know that when it comes to this issue of doomsday, it is not surprising. Why do I say so? First, I'm referring the video to your producer so that they can play. We speak on facts and we don't undermine some of these things. It is not surprising because you see the President Mahama 1 that we had in 2012-2016 is the same President Mahama who has come back. True or false? The same person. And the doomsday he bedeviled Ghanaians with during those times are the same experiences we are beginning to face. And so it is not surprising. It is not surprising at all. But you see, there are a lot of issues. There are so many issues. We don't have a lot of money to buy fuel to power the plants. There are legacy debts amongst others. So they need to confront these things and face it head on. All these, attempts to apportion blame, to say that, it's because today it is transformer, tomorrow it is some MPP people who are set fire at some Akosombo or wherever, tomorrow it is
but that has not been established
who has Ashanti region who are
but it has not been established who set the fire.
I'm just saying that all these blame games, we should put them aside. And the very things they say, you say, and that's why. So now today everybody feels that the NDC has scammed Ghanaians. Why? Because the very things they said they would do, they have not done it. Today, the young people, you see a 24-hour economy, right? 24-hour economy. And that's when you come, for one job, there'll be 3 shifts. So one person, you go in the morning, another person will take over in the afternoon, another in the evening till daybreak or till morning. Where are the jobs? You've scammed the young people, many of whom believed your campaign promise. And even on this issue of doomsday, it's the same thing. A lot of business people are falling out of business. Well, look at these people who are running supermarkets, cold stores, amongst others, and you are just playing with their lights. Like on Monday, I was home. Monday, I didn't step out. I was home throughout because I had to treat some issues, and I was so the power it went off more than 4 times. More than 4 times. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And today you come and sit here, you live at Adenta, and you claim that there's a new transformer at Adenta. And so what? So there's no doomsday at Adenta. Please, these are critical issues. So when we want to deal with this, let us stop all these blame games, transformer, we are trying to, and admit that there are real financial issues. That's the main deal. That's the main deal. So that government, the debt who left for you when you were leaving office in 2018, you paid all your debt. You see, no, I deliberately set this trap so that you fall into it. Well, you see, NDC speaks as if when they were leaving office, they speak as if when they were leaving office, they paid all their debts, such that the MPP came to inherit no debt across all the sectors of the economy. That's the impression they are creating. In fact, when you go back to what the IMF mission chief mentioned, he mentioned that the NDC from 2012 to 2016 signed the most expensive take-or-pay contracts, and to date, it is affecting Ghanaians. We are still paying for the cost of these things. You signed these huge take-or-pay contracts. Even to today, we still suffer for it. And you mentioned that the debt, as if you did not leave any debt. Please, doing so is very terrible. We don't want to go back to the dark days of doing so. Unfortunately, this has been the trademark of the NDC. We experienced this between 2012 and 2016, and they are coming back. You need to deliver on your promise. You need to ensure that you are able to raise a lot more money so that you're able to deal with these issues. And all these blame game amongst others, it doesn't help. Okay. It doesn't help. President Akufo-Addo was very right when he said in his video that, you see, when you mention former President Rawlings, what comes to mind is the District Assembly. True or false? True. If you mention President Kufuor, everybody knows him for the National Health Insurance Scheme, amongst other policies. If you mention President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, everybody remembers him for the free SHS, for the one district, one factory, over 307 ambulances, mobile money interoperability, amongst others. However, if you mention President Mahama I and President Mahama II, it's all about doing so.
All right. I think that my time is up, and my producer is rapidly asking me to end the conversation. 0539161609. Whilst I wait for my calls, and I'll read some comments. Kingsley, 2 minutes. Manasseh, 2 minutes, and I start timing you from now. 2 minutes.
Yes. So as I was saying, yes, indeed, we admit Bank of Ghana had incurred losses, but what is the real state of the economy? And as I speak to you now, I made mention of our inflation rate coming down from 23% to about 3.2%. Our CD has appreciated by over 41% to the dollar, by over 30% to the pound, and by over 24%.
Well, I have a caller. Let me hold you. Hello, good morning. Oh, I have lost the caller. You call back, please. And
yes, our lending rate has dropped from 30.2% to about 17.7%. Our monetary policy rate has dropped from 27% to about 14%. So all these are brilliant policies and all that. So we admit that yes, Bank of Ghana had incurred losses, but yet still you and I, as to whether they incurred losses or profits or gains or whatsoever, you and I must feel the impact. Yes, regardless upon all this, we are feeling a positive impact in the sense that importers are happy, exporters are happy, the market women are happy, everybody is happy. I'm happy now. I can go to the bank, go for a loan. Those days you couldn't even go to the bank for a loan. You go and take a loan. The interest you are paying on the loan is more than 40%, but now you go for a loan and you are paying some decent interest rate. It has boosted investor confidence.
All right, Kingsley.
And to the BC candidates, I wish them well. And this is just a phase, and we assure them that power will be stable. I mean, throughout the night and the day, hopefully, we assure them. I mean,
all
as
right,
I said, we are working round the clock. Yeah, but before I go, I just want to
let me let him finish, and then you will do your shout outs. Don't worry. Manasseh, before I come to you, Teacher Kojo Tepenyine Susu says this can't be the reset that the NDC government has been talking about when they were in opposition. It is disgraceful and disgusting how the current government is behaving. The NPP must do the needful to win the 2028 elections and rescue Ghanaians from this bad governance. And he sends greetings to Honorable Eric Nanajiman Prempe, MP for Hafano North, Asanteman Kuka, JFK, Nanabi, and Mr. Usu Bempa, the Nshieso constituency chairman, hopeful. And Masawood Kumasi Bantama, I'm calling on the government to urgently address the situation and the need for swift and decisive action to restore stable electricity power supply as households and businesses struggle with ongoing outages. President Mahama and the NDC must apologize to the previous administration for the lies they concocted to win power. And he adds hashtag Baumia Twasu 2028, and he sends regards to Honorable Sampai, National Affairs Vice Chair Hufo. Nyakun Joseph Henry sends laughing and fire emojis. I wonder to which that was. But Manasseh, your 2 minutes starts now.
You see, Abena, let us know that this 44 billion loss of the Bank of Ghana could have been used to change lives. Imagine a situation where the BOG, instead of using all these 44 billion, into ventures that are unproductive by way of losses. Imagine if BOG had been deliberate across the various regions. Let's allocate.
Just a moment. Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my sister.
What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
I'm Ebenezer from Tema.
Ebenezer, thank you for calling. Let's hear you.
Yes. The guy at your studio, that is the MDC guy, is making some of us here get so angry. My son is writing his exams, and then he comes home, supposed to go the following day, so he's supposed to learn, and then the following day go and write. You tell me that he's learned for the past 3 years, so he doesn't need electricity to learn for the following day exams. What kind of joke is this? It's very sad. I don't know why the way these people spoke in a position and what they are telling us to do is very sad. It's very, very sad. And this coming to the Bank of Ghana, this Bank of Ghana issue, for the first time since 1998, since independence, the government is supposed to give this show accounts to the finance minister in Parliament. This is the first time he's giving to NDC food soldiers to come and make all sorts of noise, to divert attention, to confuse the general public, to confuse the general public. What is that? 44 billion Ghana cedis is gone. Meanwhile, you criticize 9 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. The same party. Today, you are telling us the different things. What is going on? Are they taking Ghanaians as a joke, or they think whatever they say we don't, because we don't read their supporters, so whatever they say we should take it, or what? Thank you very much for that.
All right, Ebenezer, thank you for your call. 053-916-1609. Manasseh, so you can
I was saying that the 44 billion cost is an amount that is lost on Ghanaians that could have been used to create a lot more job opportunities for the young people. It could have been used to build a lot of infrastructure for the young people. And so BOG should sit up and they should ensure that all these interference from government, and our caller couldn't have said it in any better way than how he put it. Okay, to prepare your account, you give it to food soldiers to come and announce, hey, this is dangerous. So imagine the military having an operation.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
My name is Benjamin. I'm calling from Amasaman.
Benjamin, thank you for calling. Let's hear you.
Please, do I have to restrict myself to the discussion we had, or I can go? I can.
I'd rather you restricted yourself, but what do you want to talk about?
My brother, the NDC guy, he's referring to figures. They have done this, inflation is this is that, this is this is that. You see, those things we have seen it. But my problem is our life. The water that our grand what do you call it? Our forefathers have drank for all these years. The water bodies that they have used all these years, and they are alive. We have continue to drink, and now we are poisoning. We are destroying the water bodies. We are destroying everything. The very life, we are taking it away from ourselves. We are killing ourselves. And I am so surprised that President Mahama has become like, he thinks that it is not a problem, and they have shut their ears. And look at what is going on. If you travel, if you enter the forest zone, you see, they are just deceiving us. It's because they are afraid that when they stop people from mining, the illegal mining, the economy will go down. Economy and our life, which one is more important? They are killing us, my sister. So please, we should stop the figures is banning around. They should stop the galamsey. They should stop it. I don't know why everybody is quiet about it. You see, they are going to kill all of us. I'm telling you the good truth.
Okay,
we should talk about it.
All right. Benjamin, we talk about galamsey a lot here. If there's one thing you see in the morning, it is environmental matters. Thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. Manasseh, 20 seconds.
Yes, Abena, so basically, see all these good figures he's mentioning, it means nothing if it doesn't translate into proper living standards of people. Okay, so
I have another caller, sorry. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Richard calling from Afghanistan.
All right, Richard, thank you for calling. Let's hear you.
You know, the greatest problem we have in this country is hypocrisy.
Okay.
We were in this country when they directed 52 billion Ghana cedis from Ghana Commercial Bank or something like that. Nobody spoke about it. You spend 60 billion to 22, and the economy giving cash and went to a dark state. And today somebody has spent a little as less than 30 billion to stabilize the country. For food, inflation is down, transportation is down, and everything. Like, let's say the things that will make the country move and all these things is down, and people are still complaining about it. To be honest with you, the MPP does not have any moral right. I repeat again, moral right to talk about what's the name, what the Bank of Ghana is doing to stabilize this country. I'm telling them, it is better that they restructure their party and know what to tell me the Ghanaians to believe in them. And to allow the NDC to do what is best for this country. My greetings to His Excellency and Gamipachi, South Africa Ambassador. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts with us. And I say now you should be landing. So
you see, when you have power, what you do with the power is very important. If your posturing and your tone and they pick some sense of arrogance of power, it creates a whole lot of you, and it means you are digging your own grave. All these are critical issues that have come up, and the NDC must listen to all these things in good faith so that they are able to remedy the challenges we are going through. These are the very things they themselves mentioned. And so the realities are not in the figures, but they are in the lives of people. If you are saying inflation is below 3%, policy rate is this, and yet people cannot get credit to expand their businesses, yet electricity tariffs are going up, yet school fees going up, yet you cannot even keep the lights on. When we were the 2022 that you were mentioning all these crises, MPP was able to keep the lights on. All right. And today people are writing BC and you are killing them with doomso, and you don't want them to complain. This is so unacceptable. All right, and they are digging their own grave into opposition in 2028. Thank you for your comments. Kinsley, you said you wanted to give shout-outs. When we started, you gave a very tall list of shout-outs. Please, let's make it very snappy so I can bring in my sports guys.
Dr. Rabiu Abdul Manaf, my very good brother, he's contesting for the Greater Accra Regional Secretary position, NDC, on the ticket of the NDC. Yeah, and he's a young guy who is doing so well. And also, Ira Adams Karim, also going for the Deputy National Communications Officer. Okay. Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, I mean, there's this young girl. You already talked about her. I don't have the time anymore. So I believe when we watch, we can go to the beginning of the show and then we'll know about her the more. But Kinsley, thank you for coming in, and all the best to your candidates. You seem to have a long list of candidates who are contesting. All the best to them. And thank you for coming. When I say thank you for coming, we look forward to having both of you another time here on the show. That's all for the conversation this morning on ABC in the morning. After this quick break, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. Please stay with me.
Things never change when it comes to feeding your family. You choose what you trust. For generations, Gino has delivered the same dependable quality every time. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocolate. This advert is FDA approved.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We put the highlights, the date, the event, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning. It's time to bring you the latest in the world of sports. There's a happy man here this morning, James Ohenba Makion and his Gunners. Congratulations, finalists. Akion, how are you feeling?
I'm good, super good, extra
super
good,
Okay.
very good.
All right, super
excitingly good.
All right, all right.
Ghana good. Arsenal good.
Okay, please bring us the latest in the world of sports.
So we have so much more in the world of sports today. Remember, we are 37 days away from the FIFA World Cup. So let's have a World Cup fact for today. Today is about our own Blasters player, Asamoah Gyan, the baby jet. Remember, he is the top African goal scorer in FIFA World Cup history with 6 goals across 3 tournaments in 2006, 2010 and 2014. He scored Ghana's first ever World Cup goal in 2006 and the fastest goal of the 2006 tournament after just 68 seconds. He is also the first African player to score in 3 consecutive World Cups. So that's our World Cup fact for today. Africa's top scorer in the FIFA World Cup with 6 goals, with Asamoah Gyan being that particular person. Now let's move on from our World Cup fact for today and let's move on to the Ghana Premier League. And today, match week 30 of the Ghana Premier League comes off today with some exciting and also mouth-watering fixtures for us. So today at the Golden City Park is Brekum Chelsea Football Club that will host Mediama Sporting Club who are on top of the Ghana Premier League. And then there is BBN Gold Stars who will host FC Samates. Accra Folk at the Accra Sports Stadium at 3 p.m. will play against Karnival United, and then Swedro Blacks will play against 11-1. The Young Apostles will host Vision Football Club, whilst Bechem United will clash with Dreams FC. Basake Holy Stars We also welcome Indiana Stars. While that particular game between Asante Kotoko and All United, because All United have withdrawn from the Ghana Premier League, that game will not come on, so Kotoko will have free 3 points. And then the last game for today is House of Lions. They will play against Nations Football.
But why have they withdrawn from the Premier League?
Yeah, they stated a lot of reasons. They believe that the FA has not been good with them because they did something. The FA banned them from their home stadium, and they says they are not going to play in the Ghana Premier League again. So,
right.
So that's it for us in terms of foreign. So
Kotoko has 3 points.
3 points, 3 points without working for anything. I'm sure if they played that game, they would have lost. But let's go on to other matters. Still in the Ghana Premier League, Ibrahim Tanko has been speaking ahead of the clash between Mideama Sporting Club and Brekum Chelsea. Remember, Mideama on top of the league log, and Ibrahim Tanko is confident that they can go all the way to win that particular game.
Games to play, so definitely we are going to concentrate on the next one, which is Brekum Chelsea. I think it's not going to be easy because they have a very good team, regardless of the position that they are now. So, like I said, we take every game seriously. We take every game like a finals now, because the 4 games we want to win the league, we have to defend the position that we have. So we are going to prepare very well, and we have today and tomorrow, and then on Wednesday to face Brekum Chelsea. I think the motivation is that we are 5 points ahead. We have 4 tough games to play, so definitely we are going to concentrate on the next one, which is Brekum Chelsea. I think it's not going to be easy because they have a very good team, regardless of the position that they are now. So, like I said, we take every game seriously. We take every game like a finals now, because the 4 games we want to win the league, we have to defend the position that we have. So we are going to prepare very well, and we have today and tomorrow, and then on Wednesday to face Brekum Chelsea. I think.
So that is Ibrahim Tanko speaking ahead of Brekum Chelsea's clash today. Now let's move on to some pre-game reactions, and Masao Didi Dramani, who is the head coach for Accra House of Folk, has also been speaking. Remember, they are playing against Karnival United. House of Folk are 3rd on the league log. He says that consistency is key when if they want to win the Premier League and also stay in the top 4. Let's have a listen to him.
Beginning of the season or the latter part of the season, all that matters is that you need to be playing with a clear identity and structure and win games. You can only become consolidated in terms of a champion when you win matches, and so you cannot draw so many matches and then expect to win the league. You have to win matches, and so for me, we need to be consistent. And this is not the first time I'm speaking about this. We need to be consistent, and that will make you more sustainable. And so when you are consistent in winning games, of course, yes, then the outcome is that you are going to be a champion. And so I think that we've not been very consistent enough in terms of winning trade. I think that when we are able to, and I know that team building is a process.
So that is Didi Dramani there speaking ahead of their clash with Karnival United today. Now let's move to the UEFA Champions League. And Arsenal. In 20 years, so that's the celebrations for you. Mikel Arteta and his boys have qualified for the final of the UEFA Champions League for the first time in 20 years. So Arsenal are finalists after beating Atletico Madrid by a goal to nil. Bukayo Saka scoring in the dying embers of the first half to ensure that Arsenal have qualified for the finals of the Champions League. But tonight, there is another exciting game between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. That game will play at the Allianz Arena. Vincent Kompany, who is the head coach for Bayern Munich, has been speaking ahead of that clash. Let's have the bite of Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, it's an incredible night. We made history again together, and I cannot be happier, prouder for everybody that is involved in this football club. The manner that we got received outside the stadium already was special and unique. The atmosphere our supporters created, the energy, the way they lifted every ball with us, it made it and unique. I never felt that in the stadium. And we knew how much it meant to everybody. We put everything. The boys did an incredible job. And yeah, after 20 years.
So that is an excited Mikel Arteta speaking after that particular game. But let's move on to tonight's game. Let's have a listen to Vincent's company. They will be playing against PSG. Remember that first leg ended 5-4 in favor of the Frenchmen. But tonight, can the Germans beat them to qualify? Vincent's company has this to say.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say how are you solving it against Harry Kane, Lucho Diaz, Jamal Musiala, Michael Olise, and everybody else. But it's just the highest level, you know. You have good days and bad days. That's what I want to say. We played against each other 4 times now, and everybody has the last game in mind. But every other time we played against each other, the games were really tight, one way or another. So sometimes the defenders are on top, sometimes the attacking players are on top, but you for 90 minutes, 95 minutes, you have to switch on. You have to be at your best level, and you know, who knows tomorrow.
So that is Vincent's company for you, speaking ahead of the clash tonight in the UEFA Champions League. And that's our wrap-up sports on ABC in the morning with me, James Ohenba-Makion.
Well, a very happy James Ohenba-Makion. Since today is Wednesday, we can expect more on Sports World at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss out on that at all. And if you love a lot of sports, every day at 12:30 p.m. Game time comes your way. Yesterday, the conversation was very interesting. Makion was hyped up for the evening's match. I'm happy for him that it went well for him. It means that he gets to continue to be happy today on Game Time. So don't miss out on Game Time at 12:30 p.m. and also Sports World at 7 p.m. But that's how we wrap up today's show. Big thank you to Manasseh Atabuahene of the NPP Communications team and Kingsley Basintali of the NDC Communications team for speaking with us today here on the show. To you, my viewers and my callers, there's no ABC in the morning without you. My texters on Facebook too. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. I'm most grateful to you, and thank you for joining me, to the production and technical team for putting together today's show. There's no ABC in the morning without you. We come your way same time tomorrow with the show. Keep your head up, keep hope and faith alive, and do not relent in your pursuit of happiness. There's so much that you are able to achieve, and you will be able to achieve it all. But before we go, we are grappling with a lot of things. Our nation is tested. We are in comfort. We are not so much in comfort. We find ourselves on the precipice of some crisis, but it doesn't mean that we cannot move on. We can. And so from even empty hospitals to our political and economic controversies that we face and the debates that shape our society, as a country, Ghana stands at a crucial juncture. And so the bigger question is not when it is happening or what is happening to us, but how honestly it is being told. And so it's important that as a people we stay informed. I would follow on what the independent auditors of the Bank of Ghana statement said to the Bank of Ghana, and by extension for us as a people, that we should be transparent with each other so that we are well informed on matters. And so my people, good morning, enjoy the rest of your day and stay informed.